Hi, Jim. Thanks for coming on and joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Julie.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I appreciate you coming out and doing this interview with us.
Certainly.
So, can you tell the audience a brief history about how ExpressPay got started?
Sure. Systems East was formed in 1982 primarily for the purpose of municipal software development and distribution. That was for municipal accounting, payroll, and tax collection. From there, we started into receiving all types of money, utility bills, parking tickets, and so on. In 2003, 2004, when the internet started to become more popular, we decided to launch ExpressPay, which happened in April of 2005. Started with one customer, the city of Ogdensburg. Fast forward to today, we're a national payment network with customers in all states. We have resellers ranging from agents to all the way to tier 1 banks. And our primary purpose is to serve our merchants, their customers, our resellers, and of course our valuable staff.
Awesome. So what made you design ExpressPay to be so flexible?
We've always developed software that's been flexible, meaning it could be used for any purpose. We developed a universal file processor back in the day. I won't get into the details of that system, but our goal has always been to develop software that's applicable to many areas. ExpressPay is built to take e-payments, but it can do that for any industry, all the way from landscaping and plumbing, painting, on up to medical, doctor's office, dental offices, rent, insurance. It's entirely flexible. Basically what we're using is the same core product throughout, but we change the backgrounds and the screen images and the customer graphics, the merchant graphics, to make it customized to the particular company that we're serving. Also, from a size and scalability point, we can serve the smallest landscaping company that just wants to take in 27 payments a month, all the way on up to the largest insurance carrier that may take in millions of payments a month, because the product is entirely scalable and backed up by a very capable and flexible environment.
Wow. So do you think it's easy for merchants to understand?
One of our goals is to make it easy for everybody to understand. Merchants, we try to make it easy to enroll. We make it painless. One of the big deals with a merchant account is that the merchant actually owns a merchant account, and that's a big point because the merchants get the money themselves. It's their account. We are a conduit between the consumer and the merchant, so the money goes directly to them. Now, for the merchants, it's easy to understand and enroll. Our mission there is to make it really easy. Everything is online. We have a 2-day approval process. But then the big thing is for the consumers, they have to be able to use this thing. It doesn't come with a manual, nor should it. So they can step right up and use it. Has a simple process depending on what the merchant wants to do. Shall they retrieve bills and find the bills they want to pay? Can they pay multiple bills? Are they just going to fill out a form with an invoice number and a name and make a payment? So all these things are features that are built into the system.
Okay, so when it comes to consumers, it's easy for them as well?
Very much so, or we wouldn't be sitting here having this discussion.
Definitely.
Since 2005, we've added many features to the system to make it easier for consumers to pay. And one of the important things is that our breadth of experience. I'll give you an example, like in insurance. Everybody's familiar with the insurance installment payment program, or you can pay in full. So let's say that the insurance installment is $100 per month for 12 months, or you can pay the whole thing as a single payment of $1,000. If we allowed people to pay either bill that the insurance company may have posted, some will pay both. That causes a refund situation for the insurance company. So we have a feature whereby you can check, the merchant can configure this so that it will allow them to pay only one of the bills. They either pay the installment or pay in full. So the system is highly configurable. It has about 1,000 features, but we make it easy by saying we listen to the merchant and their needs, and then we build in the tools for them out of our ExpressPay toolbox. We apply the features that they need for the most successful solution.
Awesome. So you developed a site fee model in 2005. Are there any tips that you'd like to share with us on like how you developed it?
The site fee model came up in 2003 and 4 because, again, since we were into collections, the people had to come into the counter and pay the bill, or they would have to mail a bill, or whatever other means may be available. With the popularity of the internet, we really are nothing more than a post office. Instead of mailing a check, you can go online and pay. Well, we have expenses, and the merchant accounts have expenses too. So we developed a site fee model, which became very popular now. It's been copied over and over, and it's very common now to see that somebody may pay $2.95 to send an e-check in, or some companies charge as much as $20 to make an insurance by e-check or by credit card, whatever it may be. We try to be fair in our rates, but it's simply a delivery and security fee. Like the post office, when you mail a check, you have the envelope. It's supposed to be secure, stay sealed, and arrive at its destination. We do the same thing, and we charge for the service. We also share some of that revenue with the merchant so that the merchant can have a reduction in their expenses. And we also have a separate model whereby the merchant pays no transaction fees whatsoever. We take care of all that out of the site fee. So that makes it very simple for the merchant from an accounting perspective, because they get the primary proceeds and we pay the bills.
Awesome. Awesome. So can you tell me a little bit about, or us, the audience, about how or where you see ExpressPay in the future?
Currently, we're in about 60 market sectors, and again, that's landscaping, insurance, and a host of others. We picked up, for example, towing. With towing, we never expected to be there, but one of our staff members asked the towing industry, "What are your pains?" And they have a thing called GOA, gone on arrival. When they arrive, when the tow truck arrives, the person is gone. So what they can do, and it said, is that we can dispatch a truck, but we'll send you the bill, you pay the bill, and then we'll dispatch the truck. So really, with ExpressPay being a totally flexible toolbox, we can adapt it as needed to serve virtually any industry. And by the way, all of this has been with respect to government and bill payment and so on. It can also handle donations. And with respect to donations, we mentioned a site fee earlier. We don't charge a site fee for donations, but one of our many features is for donations, we can have a checkbox that says that the consumer would voluntarily add another 2% or 2.5% onto the payment amount to help the charitable organization pay for the merchant fees associated with that. We don't charge a site fee for donations because nobody wants to pay a fee to make a donation. That's just not going to happen, and that will cause a loss of payment activity, we're sure.
Yeah, definitely. So, do you want to address the elephant in the room and tell everybody why we have the same last name?
Well, sure. Clearly, by the age difference, you can see that we're not husband and wife, so you must be my daughter. In fact, this is my favorite daughter, Julie.
Oh, why, thank you. He's my favorite dad. Okay, so with that being said, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience today?
I think that I'd like to repeat what I said earlier about the components of our business, and that is the merchants and the people that kindly resell our product, and of course the staff behind it. These are all majorly important components, equally important. It's kind of like the U.S. government has Congress and the President and the Supreme Court. We have merchants and resellers and staff. They all work well together, and this product wouldn't work without it. Secondly is that very large toolbox. Our mission is to listen first to the needs of the merchant, to the needs of the prospect, see how we're going to best fit in, or if we fit in at all. And then after that, we're going to determine what tools we're going to apply and recommend them to that merchant. For the most part, all of these features are available as a part of ExpressPay. They're without charge. We have a couple of billable features. Of course, we have a monthly fee for the service because staff isn't cheap, computer environment isn't cheap, but all the features are included, with the exception of a very rare few of them that are all included. The toolbox is included with the subscription.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming today and visiting with us and explaining a little bit more to the audience, just in case some people out there didn't already know. And I think that wraps it up.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening.
Bye, guys.
Cut.